Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of The Hard Choice. Simple steps for showing up. I'm grateful for you. I am grateful for your comments. I am grateful for your reviews. I am grateful for you spreading the word. That is the only way this show grows. So I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you and your efforts and all the things you put into your life to get to where you are and to get to where you're going. Because you listen to this podcast, that means you're actually doing something. You're moving forward, moving the needle each and every day. Line by line, precept by precept, here a little, there a little. And I love that. I love that you're a doer, not just a hearer only. That you actually take action. That you move forward with action. That you don't really let anything hold you back. You have in the past, but those days are long gone. And I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for that. And it's so exciting for me to be able to record these episodes and share this keepsake for you and how important that is. To start things off, in 1930, there was a book or a story written about a little engine. And this little engine was in the rail yard. And he was an animated character, and he was one of the smaller guys. But he was given a really heavy load to take over a mountain pass. And he didn't know if he could do it. But he tried, and he tried, and he worked, and he worked, and he pushed, and made it through the fields, and made it through all the forests, and over the bridges, and finally made it to the mountain, and just kept pushing, saying, I think I can, I think I can. That story has influenced millions. That story was made into a movie for the first time in 1991. I was 2 years old, or 2.5, I guess, when the movie came out. I remember very vividly as a 3 and 4-year-old, so a couple years after the movie came out, watching this movie. This was one of my regular movies, The Little Engine That Could. I watched this movie all the time. I loved Thomas the Engine. I thought he was so cool. I loved everything about him. And back then, we didn't have the Disney Channel, but periodically it was featured on our local network. And I got to watch The Little Engine That Could and pull all the different heavy loads through the rail yard and helping all the big locomotives. Because he was just a little coal train. He wasn't a big locomotive like everybody else. He was considered a weakling. He was a little smaller, but he was more agile. So he can move stuff around the rail yard a little bit easier, and he could help, and he was a helping hand. And then one day, a load needed to be taken to over the mountain to the other rail yard. Now it's been many years, well over 30 years since I've seen that movie. But I remember him climbing the mountain, and in the movie, the cartoon, and he spins around the mountain as if it's like not very far, right? And as he's climbing, he just says, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. And he said it over and over and over as his wheels kept slowly turning and he kept slowly chugging up the mountain till finally he made it to the top. And he cruised down the backside. That image has played in my mind hundreds of thousands of times. As a little kid, every time I came up to something that I found was difficult, that seemed insurmountable to me, I said, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And as I was saying it, I kept moving, kept going, kept doing. And I finally got over whatever it was that I was trying to do. As an adult, I still do this. I was riding my bike this morning, hiking a hill on my bike, and my subconscious mind, I caught it saying, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. I want you to think about what I say often on this show and the power therein of this statement, I think I can. Thought precedes action, right? And your actions precede your opportunities. Where you focus, you find. Focus, thought, idea. I think I can leads to action of doing. Doing the can, right? And then that can open the opportunity to get to the new rail yard for Thomas the Train. But for you in your life, where are you placing your thoughts? Do you think you can? Do you think you can do it? Or do you think you can't do it? Or do you hope you can do it? Hope is not a plan. Hope is a wish that needs to be acted on to become real, to become materialistic. So this concept, this idea of I think I can, there is so much wrapped into that little phrase. Your thoughts precede your actions. I think, therefore I am. Or I am, therefore I think. Depends on who you're quoting. In your life, there are so many obstacles each and every day. Getting up sometimes is an obstacle. And it's okay to say, I think I can, as you're getting up. Because the thought precedes the action. I think I can get up today. And you get up. I think I can continue on my project today. And you do it. I think I can take one more step. I don't know if I'm going to make it to the end, but I'll take one more step. A very extreme example, one of my mentors, he quotes, he tells the story of his dad often. His dad was a raging alcoholic for the first 13 to 15 years of his life. Very aggressive, very abusive alcoholic. And the final straw, his wife told him, if you don't quit this time, you're gone. You have no family. I will leave you. I will take your kids and you will never see us. We will disappear. And his dad was driving him and started crying. And he says, I'm going to quit drinking for one more day. And then he would periodically ask his dad, Dad, are you going to drink today? He says, are you ever going to drink again? He says, I don't know if I'm never going to drink again, but I know I won't drink for one more day. And he did that for the last 30 years or 40 years of his life. And how many people he helped. But in this case with Thomas the Engine, I think I can. Starting businesses, being an entrepreneur, being an entrepreneur, getting to where you're trying to go, it's not easy at all. That's why most of human society and hope, most of human civilization will never achieve what you're going to achieve. It's just flat out freaking hard. But it's doable with one step at a time. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. And take one more step each day, moving that needle forward just a little bit. That's all it takes. A little bit forward momentum. And you know what? Sometimes we fall back a little bit so we can leapfrog forward. We had it one time with our AI code where it had kind of a major issue that we found out about. And we had to rewrite this entire section of code. I would call that a step backwards. I don't know about you, but that's a step backwards to me. Rewriting an entire section of code. While rewriting it, unbeknownst to us, about 4 different bugs and errors were corrected that we did not even know were associated. So that one step back led to 4 or 5 steps forward. Another time, we were stress testing it. We were doing 1 million transactions as fast as it could go to trigger errors, to trigger bugs, to trigger problems. And problems it did trigger. Our engineer equated the situation to stomping on roaches like Will Smith in Men in Black. Men in Black. And for those that have seen that movie, you know exactly the scene I'm talking about. I would say having all these bugs is a step back. But then being able to correct them now versus later. These were all bugs we did not know about. But we're able to correct them. I think I can. I think I can. My partner and I are building something that has never been seen before. It takes time. It takes energy. A great deal of energy, by the way. But we move forward each day, line upon line, precept upon precept. We follow the principles that have been laid before us. Now, nobody has done that we personally know. Maybe other people have. I'm sure they have. But we've never known anybody to do what we're doing. Therefore, we're charting the path ourselves. How do you ask a person returning from where you're trying to go? Well, how about you ask people that are doing adjacent things that have also pioneered their own trail? How did they get through? What did they do? How did they find resources? How did they move forward? I think I can. I think I can. You just keep on walking. You keep pressing forward. I was talking to one of my people I coach, and I was explaining how little physical work my partner and I are doing with this code, but how much energetic work we're doing. We're not sitting there writing the code. That's not what we're doing. We've hired that out. We're creating the strategy and creating the chart. We're charting the path for where the engineer needs to go. So we spend hours a day, every day, 7 days a week, sometimes in upwards of 8 to 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, pouring into this project. And we've been doing that now for 7 months. Solid, unbroken, 7 months straight. Pretty sure my wife's over it. But that's what it takes, one day at a time. Had you told me February 4th, 2024 that I'd be where I am now, I would have laughed you out of the room. Because the cataclysmic gap between where I was and where I am now is unfathomable. It is beyond, I am beyond words on how far I've come. But I can't tell you how I got here. Because it was one step at a time. It was such small steps, such small stages to get here. Continually saying, I think I can, I think I can. And then very shortly, we'll release something beautiful, something to be proud of, something excited about. Heck, we're super excited now. But where in your life are you taking these steps each and every day saying, I think I can, to get to a place that you have no idea how to get there? To become a type of human you've never seen before. But you know it's out there. You have this burning, yearning desire. Pretty sure some of those weren't even words, but I used them anyways. You have this burning within you for change. You know there's something greater out there. You know it. You can feel it. It's undeniable. But you don't know what it is or how to get there. So what do? You just start walking. I think I can. And you keep moving the locomotive forward. If you've ever seen a locomotive move, and we'll end with this note, that locomotive puts down so much force, so much torque, so much energy with zero movement. If you've ever seen a locomotive try and pull a mile-long train, it does not move, even though you can hear all the turbos. Most locomotives, when I was a little kid, I used to watch this, so I know it's still the same, but a lot of them were W16 quad-turbo diesel motors. Each locomotive. Some of those long trains, 2 mile long trains, have 4, 6, 8 locomotives up front and multiple in the back. And you see them all load down. Put down all the torque and all the turbos are spinning like crazy. Nothing's moving. But the energy is building. That's the momentum working, starting. It's super freaking hard to get a train to move. And then it finally slowly starts to move. By the time that last train car is moving, that locomotive at the front could be moving a substantial mile per hour. It could be really moving at a pretty good clip by the time the last train even starts to budge. But once a locomotive starts moving, it is almost impossible without removing the rails. If you try and put something in front of it, it'll go right through it. It is almost impossible to stop a locomotive once it is moving. If you've ever seen the movie Unstoppable, you even see the deraillers. They blow right through them. But the only way to stop a locomotive is to remove the tracks. Think about that in your life, where you're trying to go, how much energy it takes to get moving. Then once you're moving, very, very, very few things can stop you. I know this to be true. I live it every day. And it all started with, and all continues to be, because I think I can. And that thought leads to an action. And that action leads to opportunities. Have this conversation with your friends, your family, your loved ones. Share this episode for those that need it. Like this thing, subscribe to it, download it for future listenings. Until next week, I love you guys. Bye.